Let's move on to the US now, and Kamala Harris has sat down with Oprah Winfrey for a friendly interview today, as opposed to every other interview she's done. Here's some of what she had to say.
And I look around at these screens, Oprah, I look at who's in the room, and this is America.
This is
America. You know, I was saying with a group of friends earlier, I think in this moment where we've dealt with so much that I think is quite exhausting around powerful forces that would try and divide us and try to have us as Americans pointing fingers at each other.
Yes.
That this movement that is about reminding each other that we have so much more in common than what separates us.
Tina, do you have any idea what she's on about? I mean, at least she wasn't talking about the middle class and being on the middle class
she
again.
looks like she's on some drug, but Oprah had no idea either. But the good news is, ignore all that polling. I've got some pretty good contacts in Washington, and I'll tell you now, Trump will win. Where he needs to be in front, he's in front, and he'll keep his nose in front.
Okay, well, Tanya, you feeling as confident because a new national poll today has them pretty much tied on 47%. Do you share Tina's confidence in Trump?
I share Tina's confidence, and I think, look, you know, there's nothing worse than having a Californian interviewing another Californian, okay? I mean, that's not where the election's going to be decided.
True.
It's going to be decided in Wisconsin and Michigan and Pennsylvania, you know, those states where people are doing it tough, okay? And they don't care what celebrities think.
They don't care what celebrities think. No, they don't at all. But I want to talk to you about Kamala Harris's really bad day. And I mean a really bad day. So what you just heard there was, I think it was Australian maybe it was England. I don't know my accents very well. Internationally, people are laughing at her. At this point, she is a laughing stock. But her day went downhill from there.
But the bottom line here, when you look at a metric like grocery prices, they're up still 20% compared to 4 years ago. And Harris was asked recently on the debate stage whether she thinks Americans are better off now than 4 years ago. And she didn't directly answer that question. So I'll ask you, does she think Americans are better off now or not?
A few moments later.
And so when it comes
and so what the... Hey, do you think she's better off later? She's been asked this question, just so you know, probably 4 or 5 times. But at the debate, she's been asked at Oprah's interviewee thingy, whatever it was, hey, listen, are people better off now or, 4 years ago? Pretty simple question. Obviously, at this point, we know what the answer is. I love it here that CNN basically traps this guy in a corner who's her national sports spokesperson, whatever, and she doesn't let him out the bear trap.
Follow up on the question
when
again.
It comes to high prices for people, the choice in the election is also very clear, and she's going to keep talking about her plans to bring down those grocery costs while Donald Trump is going to explode them.
But let me just follow up then on that, because you said her plan to bring down grocery costs. As you know, Republicans would argue, well, they've gone up on, under the Biden-Harris administration. I'll ask the question again.
Beta Cuck boy here doesn't know what to do. Right now he wishes he was on Southwest Airlines because he definitely wants to get away. They put this guy out there. Just take a second and look at him. This is the white dudes for Harris. He's the prototype. And this woman on CNN, I forget her name, Brianna, isn't going to let him off the hook. Not at all. You're going to have to deal with this, buddy.
And does she think Americans are better off now than 4 years ago?
Second time she's had to ask him this in this one interview. You know it's bad when a reporter on CNN is drilling the Democrat candidate spokesperson. Why? Because the Democrat candidate herself won't even give the answer. So this poor guy is now being asked the same question again. Specifically, are people better off now or were they better off 4 years ago?
Well, I think when people are running for president, they want to see, what are you going to do for me? And it's not a retrospective question. It's actually a forward-looking question. And that's why she says we're not going back. She doesn't want people even remembering. She wants to do the Vulcan mind meld and say, hey, listen, don't remember how it used to be. Just look forward to how bad I'm going to make it for you. She's doing on the campaign trail every day is saying, I understand that we have to go further for people. There are still too many people out there who are hurting. Yes, inflation has eased a little bit and prices are...
Can you take a look at the woman from CNN who just looks like she wants to just give him the backhand? Just, man.
Starting to come down. But man, we've got to go even further. And when you look at the choice on the ballot in November, it's either me or it's Donald Trump.
Take it from the voters you need.
This is S.E. Culp on another of CNN's show, and she's had it as well. She's like, you got to talk to people. You just can't just ignore everybody.
She needs more interviews.
But can I ask you, S.E. Culp, can I say to you, like, then where is Trump having those real hard-hitting interviews where he says, I'm going to mass deport 11 million people, but he doesn't actually explain that?
Trump's doing a rally tonight. In fact, when he talked this afternoon with the farmers group, what did he do at the end of the farmers group? Y'all got any questions out there? Unscripted, boom. They don't even want you to think that Trump is taking questions. They're trying to just more gaslighting. Hey, he doesn't do it, so why should we? And he does it all the time.
They need to explain every nuance of every policy.
First of all, he does a ton of interviews.
Absolutely, but he doesn't answer a lot of questions.
What is the plan?
Yeah.
The Kamala Harris.
This guy gets to talking. Tampon Tim gets the question put to him. Tim, can you let us know what's going on?
Team Walt's plan to help our community with everything: gas prices, food, insurance, childcare. What's the plan?
Exactly. Okay, reporter says, what are you going to do about my pocketbook? You know, gas prices, food, insurance. What are you going to do, Tim? You going to unburden us?
Exactly right. Well, first of all, we know that this community is a critical part of our economy in all aspects, all across it. And I think the one thing Vice President Harris talks about is an opportunity economy. And what that means is everybody gets a shot. Starts out with making sure things like home ownership are more affordable. When you have more houses out there, she's talking about 3 million houses, some down payment assistance. And then talking about those things that we really matter. You're talking about grocery price and things. What we know is things when you target tax cuts like the child tax credit to the middle class, that cut poverty in half for the community. She wants to make that permanent. That's $6,000 a year. And what that allows you to buy formula, allows you to buy...
No, it doesn't. These people don't even have an idea how tax credits work. It doesn't allow you to buy any formula. You can't walk into Publix, the grocery stores down here, and say, listen, I got this tax credit from Kamala. I'd like to get a couple cases of that, baby formula. I'm sorry, sir, we don't take tax credits. We take cash, maybe some Bitcoin, maybe even some gold. Tax credits? No, we don't take that here. Where can I spend this? You can't. And that's why some people are just completely you can't take these people serious, because this guy, the guy asking the questions said, how are we going to do this with grocery prices, blah, 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 blah. And their thing is, it's an opportunity economy. Everyone's going to have the opportunity and blah, 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 and, you'll get some tax credits. Do you understand how a tax credit works, Tim? Tim, a tax credit means you're filing it on April 15th, and you're hoping to take something off of what you're stealing from me to begin with. So if you're stealing $3,000 from me and I have, some money left over, then next April 2025, then you might be able to, buy some baby formula. Tim, what the hell am I supposed to do? It's September. How are you going to put money back in my pocket? And by the way, April 15th is when you have to file, so you're hoping maybe you go to, H&R Block and get an instant refund or something, maybe get it, the first week of May. Who knows? It's September. Tell me how I'm going to get little Buffy some baby formula. And the only thing you're telling me is that you're going to get a tax credit. What about the people, most of the people that Kamala represents who don't pay any taxes? How are they going to pay for baby formula? And I'm waiting for a reporter to basically just say that and go, Tim, it's bullshit, man. These people need to go to the grocery store this Friday. When they go to the grocery store this Friday, they cannot plunk down a tax credit. When they go next Friday, they can't plunk down a tax credit. When they go to pay their rent, they can't say, can I give you a tax credit? No. How about when you go to gas? Go to Shell. Will you take a tax credit? No. They're lying to the American public, and you've got to be a complete dunce to be buying into this crap.
Food for your kids. And then I think that idea about those daily things of drug prices and things, making sure that those are capped. But I think the biggest thing is making sure that we're not giving tax cuts to the wealthiest while we cut programs across.
No, the big thing is the rank and file people in this country can't afford to do anything. And the big thing is we can't give tax credits to those rich people because, oh my God, next April when they file or if they get an extension or whatever, what? Answer the question. How are you going to make the economy better for the rank and file everyday American?
There are things like good public schools investing in, and the child care one of making sure that we cap. She's a proposal out there that you don't pay any more than 7% on child care. It's really difficult for folks to do that.
You ever notice that the people who talk about child care credit don't have any? He's got a few. Kamala doesn't have any. She has no idea what the hell she's talking about or how these people are going to make ends meet. Yet they're still voting for her. There's still Democrats who say, listen, it's better than the orange man. You got these actors and actresses talking about voting for Kamala, and nobody's making any sense. And I figured out, basically, I'm thinking that what's going to happen with this whole thing with Diddy, the FBI has taken control of the whole Diddy investigation, which means they're going to be the ones compiling all these videos, which means blackmail material. Get out there and do the shuck and jive for Kamala, or this video may drop on you. Because none of this is making any sense. And I, for the life of me, can't understand how any American is buying into this crap.
Electra Janis is the vice chair of the Washington County Board of Commissioners. A 28-year-old Republican voting for Trump, she thinks that Trump can keep the gains he made with younger voters when Biden was still in the race.
I will say when I'm voting for President Trump, I'm not voting for a person. I'm voting for his policies. Their volunteer base has grown in Pennsylvania significantly. And I think what they need to do is get the young, passionate, motivated individuals out there seeking other young individuals to do the same.
For that, the Trump campaign is turning to people like Stephen Kale. Did you ever expect to be working on a political campaign?
I did not, no.
The 33-year-old service technician from outside Pittsburgh was motivated to knock doors after he witnessed the former president get shot at his Butler rally in July.
What I saw that day, I just wanted to help out.
For Kale, that means outworking Harris volunteers and staying on message with younger voters as much as possible.
I start off by talking about the economy, their cost of living, especially if they're in college, paying higher prices.
You know the stuff people care about? This guy sees President Trump get shot, says, I got to go with this guy, which a lot of young men have seen as well. They love the idea of him saying, fight, fight, fight. And then the first thing he says out of his mouth is about everyday living expenses, which Kamala can't even address.
Prices for gas, utilities, other things that we should know.
Oh, watch this. Jim Acosta just about throws up on himself here.
Oh, and I don't know if we can show this number. I want to put this up on screen. Latino voters have moved away from Harris in Arizona. If you believe this New York Times poll, her lead has shrunk by 11 points in that voting bloc. She was at 60% in August, now 49% now.
It's happening, people. When CNN is out there talking about her imploding, it's really happening. Remember, a couple of days ago, I told you, you're going to begin seeing some of these pollsters who have been lying for months all of a sudden start reporting real data. Once you get into that 30-day window, all of the lies have to correct themselves. And now what we're seeing is some of these pollsters are out there going, all of a sudden, the script is flipped. What do you mean she dropped by 11 points? Well, because the other shit we were telling you was a lie to begin with, and you guys fell for it. So now that you're seeing the real data, she's in really big trouble. And now certain people in the media are like, are you kidding me? How did she drop 11 points? Because she was never up by 11 points. It was all fake. It was a grand illusion, and now people are seeing it, and they're like, oh my God, it's imploding. And then every single day, more and more stuff comes out about it.
What is Harris's plan? We're waiting.
Okay, there's
there's a lot of aspects to it in regards to looking at it online. So let's talk about lowering the grocery costs, because that's something that's brought up. The viewers can look at this online. She talks about certain things in regards to advancing the first federal ban on price gouging on food and groceries, to set clear rules to the road to make it clear that big corporations can't unfairly exploit consumers as well.
Is that
and
happening?
secure new
Is that happening?
It's not at this moment. No, this is her plan that's laid out for the first 100 days when she becomes president of the United States of America.
Gouging, is that currently happening?
In regards to I don't know exactly if that's currently happening or not, because I'm not privy to that type of information. Okay. But there are people are costing a lot of money in regards to groceries.
Okay. It seems like you're having a hard time articulating her plan. And
I'm not. Honestly, that's not true. Please, I'm constantly being interrupted by you, which as a woman, I think is disrespectful. When I'm trying to speak, every time I try and speak, you speak over me.
Okay. Final thought.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, I was giving you time there. All right, thank you very much. I appreciate you joining.
Damn! We're disappointed. We were looking forward to giving the vice president an enthusiastic welcome. And we were confident that she would find this. You know, she speaks very much about the high ideals and how it's good to get away from division and come together in unity and all. Well, that's what the L. Smith dinner is all about. We haven't given up yet. We're not used to this. We don't know how to handle it. This hasn't happened in 40 years since Walter Mondale turned down the invitation. And remember, he lost 49 out of 50 states.
But when we drove through those cornfields, just about every line had a Trump sign.
Yeah.
Flags everywhere, billboards everywhere, Trump campaign offices almost on every other block.
Venezuela is making billions of dollars. We're buying their oil. They make a fortune. I'd stop everything, probably stop it anyway. I'll force them down their throat.
So Trump goes on Fox this morning and they're talking, how are you going to get these people to accept all these people to get deported back? I'll force them down their throats.
And it would be very easy to handle. They make hundreds of billions of dollars on trade. I would announce that if they don't take them back, we're going to increase the tariffs on China.
All right. So Trump's out there saying they're all going back. I don't care what you got to say, how you feel about it. They're all going back. And if they don't go back, we're going to force them down your throat. And then if you still have a problem, we're just going to tariff you to death. We're going to tariff you into extinction. You are going to take these people back, whether you like it or not. Get out. I bet you'll see, hopefully when Trump wins, you'll see a lot of self-deportations. That would be the thing I like to see. So this next cut, you're going to laugh your butt off. This is your border czar. This is your border czar before she became the border czar. And she's out here carousing with some, to the river, to the sea nut jobs. And they're talking about deportation. So this is the person who was in charge of making sure that the border was secure. Wonder what her mindset is.
Down with deportation, up with education, 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 down with deportation.
She ain't talking about deporting a single person. Did Biden not realize this when he appointed her the so-called border czar? That there's videos and lots of videos out there with her dancing in the street, doing her little shaking her tush, talking about we ain't deporting nobody. Down with deportation. This is your border czar.
Up with education, down with deportation. Up with education, down.
Seriously. This is who you put in charge? Now stay tuned. It's going to go by fast. I'm going to get off screen because you're about to see the most truthful statement ever about the Kamala Harris campaign and it's going to be made by none other than Tim Walz. So let's watch this.
Down, down with deportation. Up with education. Down, down with deportation. Up with education. Down, down with deportation.
We can't afford 4 more years of this.
We can't afford 4 more years of this, says the guy whose partner has been the one in charge for 4 years. Talk about a Freudian slip. Trump has got to use that in an ad. We can't afford 4 more years of this. You're absolutely right, dude. You nailed it on that one.